Hello and welcome along to another episode from our second stint of our Rebuilding Scandinavian save with Viborg with me, Daniel. It's part 9 today and we are back to finish season 1 with two equal things. Half celebration for the fact that we've met the board objective, we've won the league as we were supposed to first season, but also half preparation because we're going up to the top tier. The finances still a mess. I hope the top tier's got good TV money. And we've also got a load of stars on the way out that we've had to sell to balance the books during the season. So if you're looking forward to finding out what we've got up our sleeve and how we get on in our final 2 games of the season, we're still playing a crucial part in the race for second place. Lyngby looking to come up with us and avoid having to sell their young stars, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. There's links to all the key videos and playlists up in the eye above, including the experiments, top threes and the Hemel Hempstead save as well. And of course it's a brand new season over on the football podcast, EFL predictions including championship ones every match day. Do go and check them out if you haven't already. But finally, you can support the show as a channel member down below, and with that, thank you for your incredible support, and let's get straight in to the final 2 games of the season. There's not an awful lot to reflect on. We haven't played any games off camera. We had disappointment against Copenhagen in the cup, but overall we put up a pretty solid effort, and we've met our objectives. We were a little bit worried at the start when we had to win the league, given the finances we inherited, but the fact that we were able to sell a few stars in the short term meant we could get a good squad in. The issue is, as we come to the end of this season, we are going to have to prepare for next season without Saeed, Lundvik and Janusa, who we had to sell during the year. Yes, Behrens is coming in permanently, but we've got 3 or 4 first teamers out of contracts. We've got older players who want big money. It's becoming a bit of an issue. We've only actually got about 10-11 players tied down for next year, and although I have plenty of faith they're good enough to keep us up, I don't know if we've got a good enough squad to get to the next level. So that's all for finding out in the summer. We'll do that when we look at our end of season review, but for now we've got 2 more games to get through. So let's start with Lyngby, who for so long were the close title challengers, but just fell away in the last 10 to 15 games. We stole one of their star players in January and it told. They've replaced them with very good young players, but not consistent ones, and that can be a big difference at this level. So with over 5,000 through the gate again, the crowds are creeping up. Let's have a look at the 11 we've picked for today. I don't want to rotate too much because I feel like we've got a very good thing going and I want to keep the momentum. I also want to say goodbye to the legends. However, we've got to be aware that we played in the cup on Wednesday. We chased a lot and I want to make a few changes as a result. So that's why the likes of Vit and Bonda are out of the squad completely. Beck has dropped down to the bench. The 3 Copenhagen youngsters who were ineligible are now all on the bench as well. And the rest of the lineup is still pretty strong. We get Gröning in to edge closer towards the league appearance record. Karstrup, who's going to be one of the few backups actually in the squad next season. And the back 4, Felix Mikel comes in, one of his last games for the club too. So we've got Behrens in goal and Yemby and Laridsen are fullbacks with Mikel and Carlson as centre half. Gröning, Lundvik, Janusa in the middle. How much are we going to miss Lundvik? 17 goals already. He might even hit 20 for the season. And he's going to be gone. So Harbo's got a big job to step up next year. We'll wait and see if he can. The front 3 is Saeed, Karstrup and Rothman. I'm actually tempted to bring Palmer in, but I'm going to stick with Saeed for this one. Last game of the season, we'll change it if we need to. Let's submit the team for Viborg v Lyngby. Lyngby on the chase for second place. This game means a lot to them. 3 changes for us, 2 for Lyngby. A very good side, some quality youngsters. Bjarnsen, Mikkelsen at centre-half, sublime. They've got a couple on the bench too. But let's get through the dressing room. We're going to tell the lads we want an improvement because, look, we did get beaten comfortably at Copenhagen. We're playing a much weaker opposition on paper, so I'd expect that to happen naturally. A good crowd in. We've got 2 home games to finish the season, which is lovely when you've already wrapped up the title. A real chance at a celebration. I'd like to see a big crowd next week. But we've made the right decision to come here. It's given us a new lease of life after Helsingborg and of course the tumultuous way that ended in the last transfer window. It's also given us a chance to succeed and build a younger side. So with the challenges in the transfer window, it feels like more of an achievement. And here we are on the front foot at the start. The star man, Joachim Rothman. How different things would have been if we hadn't got him in and his 27 goals. Laridsen gets it at left back. Another key signing to Mikel. We managed to keep him for the end of the year, but I think he will be off this summer. Finds Lundvik to Gröning. And of course, that's the cloud that hangs over. Lundvik, Saeed, Yanusa, all had to be sold. And those loans won't be extended. We can't afford the wages. As Karstrup goes back to Gröning. It's a lovely move this to Rothman. What a goal. Symbolises the season perfectly. Did look slightly offside, but I'm not going to complain. A breathtaking move with 19 on the clock. And Viborg lead Lyngby. I'm not sure if we've beaten them this year. I think maybe once. We've drawn a couple. So this would be a lovely result to get. And with a couple of minutes to the break, it's certainly not been an outstanding performance. It's not been the most aggressive, but we have been the better side and we're on the front foot again. We're doing a really professional job. As Karstrup on the left, lovely ball to Lundvik. Should have really added to his total there, but it's over the bar. It stays 1-0 at half-time. And in the other games, at Vejle leading 2-0 away. The two second-tier sides that caused the cup shocks look like they're the two that are heading for promotion. So let's get into the second half and enjoy it. Saeed's had a poor game again. I probably should have done that swap on reflection. But we can make a few in a moment. Get some of the youngsters on. Get some of the players that are going to feature next season from the loanees on. And rest Joachim Rothman, who looks absolutely shattered. First time I've seen that from him for a long time. As Larriton gets the ball to Karstrup, nearly the hour mark. That's an awful tackle. Mikkelsen makes the foul. Lundvik goes through though. The referee tries to play advantage. Falls for Saeed, who gives away possession. Bjarnson picks it up on the left. Gotta come back and book him, surely. Sorensen to Bjarnson. To Rasmussen. I'd be very upset if they equalise from this. Gröning intercepts. No risk with him there. And he finds Willie to Yanusa. Wide to Karstrup on the left again. Gives the ball away. Probably still a little hurt from that first foul. Though Lundvik puts Saeed in. About to come off. But he might get a goal. He absolutely does. Just as we were planning to take Ibrahim Saeed off, he decides to cap his penultimate game for the club with a wonderful finish after a good run in behind. And of course, Lundvik, as well as the 17 goals, has had a huge bearing in assists this season as well. As Larriton's got a free kick on the left, we can't get a break to make subs. Punched away as far as Bjarnson, who flicks on. Only as far as Gröning though. Picking the ball up still in their half. Finds Lundvik on the right. Has support forward but goes back to Gröning and Anyembi, who's drifted out to the right hand side. To Lundvik, whose through ball's not good enough. And Overbeat will bring it away. They are a good football inside Lyngby, but they've lost all their consistency, and to be fair to them, they lost about 4 stars in January, Karstrup being one, of course, who was scoring 1 in 2. You can't afford to lose that in a title race, and it's no real surprise they've dropped away. As Overby finds Hoodoo, it's a good move from them, very similar to the one where we scored our first goal earlier in the first half. As Bjarnson gets it down by the byline, cuts back onto his right foot, finds Hoodoo, delivers across to the back post, it's a brilliant ball in. But the centre forward nods it just over. He had to score that in truth. Still no shot on target. 2-0 we lead. And time for some changes. At right back, Denius will be on for the tired Anyembi. Wiliti Yanusa's knackered. On will come Harbo. I'm going to take off Rothman for Bernston up front. I've got to decide which player's not coming on. Karstrup didn't play in the week, so I'm not as worried about him. Let's take off Saeed for Palmer. And on the other one, I'm going to take on Tobias Beck for Justin Lundvik, which I know is controversial. Bernston will go into midfield, Beck up front. But I just feel like that suits us a little bit better. So Harbo box to box, Bernston centre mid attack. 25 minutes to go, 2-0 up. It should stay fairly comfortable, shouldn't it? And here we are into the final quarter of the game as Karstrup's got the ball in his own half. Gröning releases Harbo and Karstrup again. Lovely run from Tobias Beck. Thought he was going to go for Palmer initially, but fooled us both, and in the end fooled his own players. As Sorensen at the back for Lyngby keeping the ball. They're very good in possession, but they just haven't got the cutting edge. Again, a hopeless long ball which Denius heads away. Someone I'm umming and ahhing about extending the loan of because he's injury prone. As Bernston's in, it's a very good save. He's a good right back. He's good cover for Anyembi, who doesn't stay the fittest, but if Denius is a backup, you want him to be match fit all the time. And at the moment, he just isn't that often enough. Didn't get to see the corner, not sure why, but with 10 to go, Lyngby only had that one chance from the header, which they didn't hit the target, and we're still dominant as Beck releases Karstrup, who's had a decent game here. Goes back to halfway for Mikkel. Got support from his centre-half partner, but instead goes long towards Beck. Headed away by Mikkelsen as far as Mikkel. Gives it to Harbo. to Gröning, to Bernston. Got to find the runners. There's 2 or 3 of them. Releases Karstrup into Tobias Beck. That is a lovely goal. Wonderful move. Good to see Bernston getting involved. And the 2 left wingers, normally vying for one spot, have combined to score a third and make it comfortable. Vejle have done the same in their game. They will be finishing in second place. But this has been a comprehensive win, a great way to celebrate promotion. And on the final day of the season, hopefully we can do the same again, because a lot of these boys are really proving their spot for next year. So let's tell the lads it's good work. We'll see you again next Saturday for the final game of the year. And time for our final game of the season before we return to the top tier. Vejle are up there with Lyngby, who have already played their game. So if Vejle lose, they could miss out on goal difference. Nykøbing could still nick in there. That's crazy. And Nykøbing are playing Vejle. That is a mad final day. We've got peace by comparison. We're playing the weakest side in the top 6 at home. So let's see what lineup we can pick for this one. Not even 5,000 through the gate, so I'm guessing the trophy lift officially has already happened. But let's give this a little tweak. We'll be back in a minute to run through the team. Well, I've taken a harsh but I think fair decision for our final game of the season. I've left Karstrup out of the squad because he's going to be here next year and he's got a heavy match load. So although he would be in our 18 normally, I feel like I should leave him out this time. Though maybe I could leave Denius out instead. I think I'm going to do that. Denius out, Karstrup in. There's our squad. What I have done is brought in Palmer and Harbo from the start, get them a bit more match experience ahead of next year. Bonda and Vit are back in as well, Tobias Beck too. On the bench, we'll bring on the likes of Yunusa and Ibrahim Said for a final goodbye, and probably Mikel and Gröning as well will fall into that category. So in the end, Karstrup or Denius might not have got on anyway, but our 11 for today sees a number of changes. Let's confirm how many it is. 5 in total. Bonda, Vit, Harbo, Palmer and Beck. Out go Mikel, Gröning, Yunusa, Said and Karstrup. Nothing riding on it for either side. It should be a relaxing day. Then an end of season review to prepare for next season. We've always got to be learning with these players. They've made 4 changes themselves, the visitors. We've talked to the lads. Let's get into the first half. Let's make it a comfortable win. Try and enjoy the final day. And hopefully prepare for the top tier in style. David Palmer's picked up a knock already, which doesn't bode too well. So we've got a throw in attacking by the left corner flag, which Beck plays a 1-2 with the left back. Harbo goes back to halfway and Carlson. It's a unique pass, but it works. Lundvik flicks on for Rothman. He's in 1-on-1. His shot straight at Peterson, though. Good goalkeeping. They stay at 0-0, but it's been a positive start yet again. Well, been a quiet half an hour actually. We've not really got into this game, so I'm going to go to a positive mentality. Of course, it is a risk when you're making 4 or 5 changes. Our early season form was prided on the fact that we didn't make changes most week. As Beck gets the ball into Rothman, there's 3 in the middle here. This is a real chance. Larritzen challenged. Great work from Thorson as Rothman gets it back to Harbo. Inside to Vit. Has support, goes wide towards Palmer. Flicks it on, but can't get any power. And unfortunately, it's straight through to the keeper. It might be a bit of a damp squib to finish the season on, as Larritzen gets the ball away to Beck. Back to Larritzen again. Tobias Beck's making the run in behind, and he's been found. Can he get it into the box? He can to Joachim Rothman. Hits the woodwork with a snapshot under pressure. It's almost a very good finish, and he is wanted now as well, so I wonder if he's going to be the next start we get offered big money for. With 5 to the break though, it's still goalless as Behrens takes a big goal kick for us. Long downfield towards Rothman, who loses out in the air. Headed clear as far as David Palmer. Takes on his man and finds Lundvik. Up towards Beck, who loses out, but it falls for Harbo again. Edge of the box, left hand side, that's got to be a pen. Brought down, it was just a little bit late. And although Jakob Bonda's the best penalty taker, we're still going for Joachim Rothman. Let's hope he can put this one away. He might be the top scorer in the league. I'm sure someone would have had to be brilliant to beat him. And yet again, he's composed. It's very clinical. And he sends the keeper the wrong way. 29 for the season in all competitions. One of the best free signings I've made all year. And at half-time, it remains 1-0. It's not been a vintage performance again. But we do look solid. We do look consistent. And we've got some of our best players on the bench. But this, I guess, is a lot closer to what we'll have next year. I know Lundvik's still in, who we're not going to have, unfortunately. But otherwise, it's pretty similar to the team we should field at the start of next season. Unless we get any big signings in the summer, which that will be dictated by finances. Of course, we've got Hayden Carter coming in to fill that big void at centre-half. Karamoko left in January and we haven't really replaced him. Thankfully, Lyngby lost more than us though, as Anyembi gets the ball to Carlson, to Bonda, up to Vit and Harbo. Into Beck. It's another lovely flowing move on the counter. Slowed down a bit now though, as Beck goes back to Lauritzen. And Harbo to Lauritzen again. His wage demands have dropped slightly, so I think we might be able to keep him. And as a set-piece specialist, that's important. As Rothman's in with a keeper, slides it under him for his 30th of the year. Tobias Beck, the academy man, he sets it up with a lovely pass. And Joachim Rothman, not for the first time this year, has delivered a brace that could be crucial to the points. So we're back immediately with our visitors. On the right-hand side with a throw-in. Beck nicks it, but it falls for Holmstrom, the centre-half. They can't get through us as Lundvik throws his body on the line, but it's up to Thorson, who smashes it first time from distance. Peter Knudsen just laid it off to him, and he hit an absolute cracker. 2-1. The keeper's got no chance whatsoever. And with an hour gone, we will make some changes. But that is a turn up for the books, that finish. We've got Palmer knackered, so Saeed comes on for his farewell. Yanusa will do the same in place of Lundvik, who will get his farewell at the same time. We're also going to take off Vit. He will be replaced by Grunin, who continues towards that appearance record. Hopefully, he'll sign a new deal on reduced terms. Doesn't look like it at the moment, though. We'll leave the last 15 more minutes, but I'm pretty sure who it's going to be. Well, into the final quarter, we've got a corner kick with Lauritzen. Outswinger to the back post. It hits the woodwork from the Bonda header. Lauritzen puts another one in from Saeed's pickup, and it's cleared long downfield as far as Yanusa. On the left-hand side, into Bonda. Runs into the empty space and finds Grunin. To Carlson, wide to Anyembi, a lovely switch of play there. To Saeed, can take on his man and finish on a high. Scored in a penultimate game, delivers across there. Tobias Beck puts it over. 20 left, 2-1. Viborg still in the lead. And we're going straight from the goal kick as well. Grunin loses out in the air to Knudsen. Sandgraf, in the centre circle, goes backwards instead. Knudsen picks it up on the left again. Nielsen's overlapping him. Knudsen plays a 1-2 with him. Nielsen's got the chance to cross, being close down. Into Knudsen again. Lovely ball to the back post. And it's 2-2. What on earth is happening here? Harbo is going to come off for Bernsen. And we're going to bring on Karstrup on the left wing for Beck. Fresh legs everywhere. But defensively, despite not making any changes to that back five, we've completely fallen apart in the last 15 minutes. There's some worrying signs back there. Hayden Carter can't come soon enough. Let's demand a little bit more from the lads, and hopefully we can find a winner. Well, into stoppage time, albeit 5 minutes of it, and it looks like a disappointing finish to the year. It's 2-2. Their expected goals is 0.36. They've only had 2 shots on target. We've absolutely pasted them, but we didn't get the win. So a slight disappointment to end on. We are going to keep our standards up and tell the lads we're disappointed. But overall, it's been a fabulous season. And the fact there was nothing riding on it, it's good enough for me. Let's go and see the season review quickly as Vejel in the 94th minute secure promotion to the top tier. And we'll see what we're going to do with our squad, because it's going to be all change again in the second year. Given our sales last summer, probably going to be harder than the first. And here is the second tier trophy at the start of the end of season review. No pressure for us, but Viborg are in Europe now in real life, so they made a pretty good fist of it first season up. We're going to have to try and do the same. Let's have a look at the signings this season. Palmer and Harbo from Copenhagen, both essential squad players, will step up next year as we're losing our stars. Rothman, the goal tally speaks for itself, and Lauritzen, signing of the season with 10 assists, been brilliant at left back, a position that's hard to get a good player, and he has maintained his physicals all right, so if we can get him on a reasonable contract, we will sign him for another year. Karstrup, nicked from Lyngby in January, so crucial to the title race. And then the likes of Berens in goal, Denius and even Vit in January, just really solid, steady additions that produce 7s out of 10s every week. We've got transfers out, we know what the big ones are. Lundvik has starred for us this year, 28 goal contributions in 35 appearances. Saeed has 16 goal contributions and Yanusa has 4. They're all going to be off. It's going to get very tricky for us as a result. We did lose Karamoko in January, but we know we've got a replacement in for him at least. And then a flurry of squad players who didn't contribute that much. We managed to win the league, and actually this table at the league split shows you how badly Lyngby fell away. They ended up 3 points behind Vejel, despite being 1 ahead at the turnover. And the last couple of games there they'd lost, they'd been brilliant to that point. And actually, you've got to say to Vejle, they beat us twice this year, so maybe on the big occasion, they're going to be the ones to step up. Not the best finish to the season for us, but it was already job done by then. A 7-0 win in the Cup was our biggest one, a 6-0 win against the league strugglers was our match to remember, and a 1-0 win against Randers. Goal of the season, we saw that live, didn't we? A tense, terrible cup tie settled by a moment of magic from the Copenhagen youngster. Our reputation stays 2.5 star. I wonder if that'll change in the off-season. Finances in terms of income is all up, but it's not helping the finances at all. And the best 11, Groening's in the holding role. I suppose he played more games. Mikel at centre-half, but Bonda wasn't naturally in that position. And Palmer over Saeed on the right. No real big headline stories other than that. I feel that one's a little bit harsh though. Player of the season is Lauritzen. Young player of the season, Rothman. No surprises there. We've got most goals in a season. Rothman breaks the record. Lundvik breaks the assist one. Rothman player of the match. Lundvik biggest transfer fee received. And David Palmer, youngest goal scorer. What a season. It was a challenge. The transfer work at the start was hard. But I feel like it's been worth it in the end. Has our finances improved at all as a result of winning? No. I hope there's money to come soon, because it could be a very long summer window if we don't have that. A load of players breaking into the best 11. Rothman, of course, goes straight into the team. Mikel, Lauritzen, Palmer and Behrens all into the squad. What a season. What are the expectations for next year, though? Fight bravely against relegation. We can definitely do that with our 11. We've got top goal scorer for Rothman. Lundvik gets player of the year in the league. It's just been a brilliant season. So let me know what you think we need to do this summer. Of course, we've lost those 3 superstars, Yanusa in January and Lundvik and Saeed last summer. We can't loan them back because they want 5, 6, 7, 8 grand a week, the clubs, and Saeed doesn't even want to come. We have got Denius to make a decision on. We've got Behrens coming in permanently. We've got to try and get Mikel, Groening and Lauritzen on decent deals. If we can, we'll keep them. If not, they move on. Dominic Franke, he probably will be off in truth. Hasn't improved a huge amount, although he is solid enough. So if the worst comes to worst, we'll keep him. The other ones we've got to worry about in December, Vitt and Karstrup we need to extend. But I think they had 1-year options, so that might not be too much of an issue. And then this man's coming in as well. Hayden Carter from Blackburn Rovers. What a player. Only made 1 league appearance for Blackburn this year, but played for Pompey previously, played for Burton before that. We know he's got bags of potential. So Hayden Carter, thumbnail star today, superstar for next season in the Superliga. If you did enjoy this year though, a big effort to win the league, to meet the board expectations, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know which of the stars you think we're going to have to sell this summer. It'll be the ones with the highest value because we need to make up the finances. And hopefully there's a big bundle of money in the top tier in Denmark, particularly if we can start winning some games and make the top half split. But avoiding relegation is the first and foremost task, and trying to find replacements for these superstars on the way out is going to be another difficult challenge this summer. If you're looking forward to finding out though whether we can do it or not, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. Hemmel's back tomorrow before this one in 2 days' time, a transfer special and our debut in the top tier of Danish football. In the meantime, you can find all the key playlists in the eye above, the Twitch channels up there, the football podcast as we're back for the new season, and things like the top 3s and the experiments too. But thank you very much for watching. I'll put the top 3 playlists above my head now, and I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time for the start of our 2nd season at Viborg and a big summer special ahead of our top tier debut. See you there.